Luke Shaman TV, joined by Chris Millington. So a 0-0 draw. What are your thoughts on the game?
I'm still gathering them, to be honest with you, Luke. So what's going to come out of my mouth, I'm not quite sure. But all in all, pleased with the sort of commitment and determination, especially second half. I thought we started off slow, a bit lacklustre, almost maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of complacency because we were so comfortable in the game at Moss Lane. So there was, there was some words had to be said at half time amongst the group, just to sharpen us up. And then I thought we started the second half much brighter. Obviously the sending off is a benefit in some respects, but again it's a challenge. If Altrincham with 11 men had come in and defended deep, it'd have been a challenge, because when you're trying to play quick, high tempo possession football to break down a low block on that sticky end of the pitch, it's very difficult. So we were left with the only option of really working it wide and delivering balls into the box, which isn't really our forte. We want to be able to football our way in there. So listen, pleased with the point, pleased with the reaction we got second half, over the Christmas period where we've had some really challenging oppositions. I think we've shown what we're capable of today. We've had some changes and we've relied on our squad. That's really pleasing. I know, listening to the Altrincham interview after the game, they're bemoaning players missing. We don't have that problem. We're very confident in the players that come in, and we know that they'll come in and give everything. So lots to be pleased about.
It's just obviously a squad game, but 3 enforced changes today with Ali, Galvin and Wright all picking up injuries. Yeah, that's right.
Knox and Niggles and Galv obviously came off early against Altrincham on Boxing Day with just a niggle in the hamstring, which turns out to be a little bit more than that. Max was clear, it was obvious, and then Millie, we're going to investigate that further with a scan tomorrow. We're not sure quite what he's done away from the club, but he's done something which has meant he was unavailable today. So, but we've got players to come in, and one thing we offer players is opportunity. We'll coach them, we'll give them time to improve, we'll give them time to get better, and they did that over the course of the game. I thought all 3 of the lads who came in maybe weren't so bright first half, but certainly improved second half. And on another day, I think Angelo gets 2 penalties. It's certainly not an excuse, because their keeper's made a number of fine saves and probably kept him in it. We've missed a couple of good opportunities, one off a second phase off a corner that springs to mind. But then it seems like every week, doesn't it, Luke, we're talking about Halifax Town missing out on what look like clear penalties. We will do what we always do, which is ask the panel to review them, and as happens week in, week out, they'll come back to us and say, I think the one where he's booked Angelo is a nailed on penalty. And then Angelo says later in the game, where we've got the free kick in the wide area, that's happened inside the box as well. So much as we don't want to be relying on penalties to win games, we've got to start getting some decisions, because it's crazy the number. I've never known anything like it, the number of game-changing decisions in the penalty area that are not being given our way. Very frustrating, but on the officials, I think fair play. They've got the game on, and other than those 2 crucial decisions, I think the referees had a decent game. But again, we come away and we're the ones who are the injured party in that sense.
So as you said, looking at the first half, maybe a slightly slow start. Altrincham probably edging the chances, and certainly the clear-cut ones.
They had a couple, yeah. So did we, though. I mean, I'd be panicking if I saw a player do what Adam Senior did to them. He's literally picked the ball up and gone through the whole team pretty much unopposed, which shocking really at National League level, but not just quite managed to hit the target. We've had a couple of other good opportunities, and then in the second half, like I say, Sam Johnson not had a lot to do. There was one save late on which was quite comfortable from distance, and the Alti keepers had an awful lot to do and made some really good saves to his credit. I know there were 1 or 2 critical of his performance on Boxing Day, but he certainly made up for it today, because he's got him a point.
As you said, obviously got off to a lot better start in the second half, really got on the front foot, got that man advantage, but just couldn't make it pay.
No, we couldn't, and like I say, the small margins, I think Phil Parkinson said, and the small margin today was probably the pitch. I was a big advocate of the game going ahead and pushed for that. I didn't think the pitch was in any kind of state to be cancelling a game. So I was well behind the fact that we played and would be still. You know, it was the right decision. But it has hurt us in the second half when Alti have gone down to they've lost a player, they've gone down to 10 men. They then sit in, they defend the edge of their own box, they defend deep and you know, make a difficult block for us to work through. And to play a high tempo style of football where you've got to beat a low block is very difficult when the pitch is that sticky. So it did become something of a negative for us. But listen, all in all, we've got to be pleased with the current run of form. All in all, we've got to be pleased with the response the players gave us, and we look forward to Southend.
Of course, a point to start the new year certainly gives us something to build on.
Yeah, we're unbeaten in a few. We've played some difficult oppositions. You know, we're establishing ourselves in an area of the table that gives us a great foundation to kick on. We've got another couple of very difficult fixtures coming up in Southend away and Solihull back at our place. So, you know, there's no let up. It ain't going to be easy, but these are the games we want. You know, we love them regardless of injuries, illness, suspensions, whatever you might have to deal with in this league. You know, it's the thrill of playing week in, week out against difficult opposition. So we look forward to Southend and we really relish the challenge that they will pose for us.
So see Southend up next away from home as well. And obviously they've just recently had their takeover confirmed.
Yeah, they have. It's typical, innit? I think we had Scunthorpe last year, just had good news when they came here to play us, and you know, we're riding the crest of that wave. So, but listen, Southend, regardless of the troubles they've had, they've always had a really good starting 11, 2-3 subs on the bench all the way through the difficulties they've had over the last 12 months. And I think the management team down there are fantastic. I think they've done a brilliant job maintaining the levels and the standard of performance, and I think we're nigh on level. If it weren't for their I don't know where they're up to at the moment, but nigh on level were it not for their points deduction. So they are a team who we really respect. You know, there are a couple of teams in the division who are very combative, always in games, always looking to win games, always on the front foot, aggressive in how they play, but in the right way. You know, we'll go there fully aware of the challenge that faces us, and we'll give everything to try and get the 3 points.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.